Hey folks, how's it going? You know, I've been driving so many used cars lately that I've forgotten how nice it is to actually drive a new car. Yes, and I've got me a revisit here. A revisit is actually one of those cars that I've already driven. And you can check this car out in my videos below. In fact, Beng and I actually drove this car quite a bit during the drive. And so I'm getting a second impression of the 2019 Toyota Corolla. Notice I've left out altis. They're trying not to say altis anymore. So, okay, it's a Toyota Corolla. And I actually pressed the start-stop button twice. And the reason I did that and killed the engine was because I didn't even realize the engine was on. The NVH in this car is just incredible. I don't know how else to put it. Now, maybe I'm a bit jaded. Maybe I'm so used to used cars where, you know, the NVH is less than perfect. But this thing, I mean, it's so nice to actually get into a car where every freaking thing works. Yeah. You know, you just have to press this and, oh, look, the windows come down. And then you pull it up and, oh, look, the windows go up. Without any, like, used cars, you know. But, you know, that's kind of the appeal to me as well. But, so today, yes, I'm lucky enough to be driving the Corolla. And wouldn't you know it? Okay, I got to talk about a bit of a used car thing. Wouldn't you know it? I've actually been looking at Corollas in the used car market because Corollas, I think Toyota built its reputation of reliability on Corollas. That shake is because my phone holder is a Pasar Malam one and it's not that great. Okay, it's not the car is quiet. See, no noise. So yeah, that shake is because of my phone holder is not so great, but you know, never mind. Forgive me, I'll get a better one. What was I saying? Yes, I've been looking at Corollas because Corollas, in my opinion, are the cars that Toyota built its reputation for reliability, for hardiness, and that's why I said in my previous video that this Corolla maybe is too nice to be a Corolla. Maybe they should have called it a Corona. You remember the Corona? I had a Corona. There were Corona 1.8s, and then there was a Corona 2 liter, and then Toyota stopped bringing them in lieu of the Camry, which in its own right is a brilliant car. I mean, the latter-day Camrys, the new Camrys, no doubt they're a bit expensive. Yeah, they're about 200,000 ringgit, but latter-day Camrys are as close to a Lexus as you're gonna get if you're on a budget. Yes, I'll stick with that. I'll put my foot down on that, and I'll stand by that. So back to the Corolla. So the Corolla is supposed to be one rung down from the Camry, and that's why it's gotten very upmarket. Now this is unlike any Corolla I've tested in recent memory, and of course the Corollas that I've tested in recent memory are the used ones. The SE, if you remember that, the SEG. I've got a video of the SEG somewhere down in my videos. The NVH going over these horrible rumble strips that I hate and hardly even feel it. Noise suppression in this car is top notch. Okay, I got a phone call just now while I was driving my the Daihatsu Charade, and I couldn't hear a thing. I put it on speakerphone and I couldn't hear a damn thing. Okay, this I can carry on a normal conversation with you like this. I'm not gonna have to shout. I'm not gonna have to raise my voice. It's lovely. I got blind spot information. It flashes when there's somebody in your blind spot. It's quiet, power steering. It's a very nice place to be. Now, okay, granted, there are certain things about this car that I find unforgivable. I'm sorry, UMW Toyota, I find it unforgivable. For example, why do you need such a big holder for a small screen? I mean, not necessary. And then I found out later that overseas they get a bigger multimedia screen, so that's why they needed this big holder. So the holder is stock, but the screen is not. So I mean, how much more could it have been to put a slightly bigger screen? You know, not that much at all. Oh, I got lumbar support. Yeah, so you know what? Electric seats for the driver. Passenger is still manually controlled. Automatic gearbox. Put it in D. Forget about it and just go. The parking brake actually disengages for you, so even you can't even accidentally drive off with the parking brake on if if you forget. It's just so amazing. I like this car. There again, one more thing that, you know, the design, I know they wanted to make it a little bit futuristic, a little bit upmarket, a little bit different. The protrusion of this dashboard to me is a hazard, because it protrudes so far for what I can see. That no reason for it to protrude this far. Maybe they didn't want it so flat, because if you remember old Corolla dashboards, they were really flat. Yes, I've got automatic wipers, I've got automatic lights. Nice, you know what? Really cool to just be able to get into a car and just drive, and all you have to worry about, because it's a Toyota Corolla, so it's really nice to get into a car where everything works, and you don't have to worry about anything except how much fuel you've got. And thanks to the onboard computer, I know exactly how far I can go before I have to start pushing this car. So very nice. So let's talk about pros and cons. Okay, it's 130,000 ringgit plus for this car, but for that you get Toyota Corolla peace of mind. Oh, what a feeling is that? Yeah, and you can be moving forward effortlessly. Yeah, I'm using all their taglines here, but this is a no-brainer car. Have you ever heard of a no-brainer car? Yeah, this is one of them. No doubt you can get other cars in this segment, and let's not forget, the C segment is one of the most, if not the most hotly contested segments in the car market. Okay, make no doubt about that. There's no doubt about that. Very competitive. But if you're willing to pay a little bit more, you will understand what you have paid for. You get what you pay for. And honestly, this car, NVH wise, in terms of drivability, in terms of comfort, driver comfort, as well as your passenger comfort, it's a no-brainer. I mean, it's really nice. Yeah, I got the recirculation on. It's like you're in a different world. And it's a Corolla. Don't forget, the Corolla is one of the lowest rungs of the Toyota range. Well, overseas anyway, you know. The Corolla is like in Japan is like a Proton here? But wow, what a Proton. I mean, really, seriously, it's very nice. And you really should check it out. It's a bit drab. Okay, given the interior is not as flashy as a Honda Civic. Okay, there you go, Honda Civic. And far and away the C segment leader, the Honda Civic. But you know what? If you're slightly elder or slightly in the years, and you want something a little bit more subdued, but no less opulent, and with some power. Somebody asked if this car is noisy. That's the only time it gets a little bit noisy. When you floor the accelerator pedal, that's the only time it gets a little bit noisy. But it's not like that all the time. It's only when you floor it, and I just did it again. And I'm sure you could have heard that because the NVH is so good. Maybe it's really loud on the outside, but I don't think so. I think this car is quiet everywhere. The weather's been horrible for reviewing cars, I have to admit. So I'm headed to my favorite road, and then I'll stop and give you all a nice 360, okay? So stay tuned. I'll be back. Right, so I'm back on my favorite stretch of road, and this is the part where it's a lot of bumps and it's not really in the best condition, and this car is just soaking it up beautifully. Again, like I said, maybe I'm spoiled because I've been driving cars with clapped out suspension, rotted through lower arms, bushes that have overgrown to the point where you need to prune them or just throw them away, or add weed killer. Rubber mounts that have become so hard you could use it as a weapon. Yeah, but this thing, again, there are merits to buying a new car. Okay, I cannot make any excuses for that. There are definite merits. You've got warranties. Wow, this is a bad stretch. And under normal circumstances, my fillings I'd be pushing back my fillings. Normal circumstances meaning one of my own cars. It's like nothing. I'm so tempted to just fly over a speed hump without slowing down, just to see if this suspension can take it. And you know what? I think it could. Really. Man, So yeah, the acceleration, the roll-on acceleration for this car is very good. Roll-on acceleration is important to get you out of the danger zone. Again, I don't mean a Kenny Loggins song from Top Gun. I mean the actual overtaking part when it's a two-lane single dual carriageway. When you need to pull out and overtake a car, you need that and this car's got that Right, so back again on this stretch, which is wet. It's just rained very heavily, like it has been every single evening for the last couple of weeks or so. Oh, nice. CVT whine, of course, can't run away from that. But you know what? This one ain't too bad. It's quick, I'll give it that. But it's also noisy a bit when you floor it. Got paddles to play with. Slow yourself down. Oh, but you know what? This is very nice. You know, as far as second impressions are concerned, I think I'm liking it a bit more than the first. And maybe because this car has already got 2,225 kilometers on it. I just did that to put it back into normal D. And then you just cruise along and wow. You know, I really want to like this car. I really do. But there's just certain things about it that I think could have been so much better. The small screen notwithstanding, I mean, I could get used to that. But this car could have been even better. More noise suppression for the CVT. Try to let people forget that it's an actual CVT. And because the CVT doesn't behave like a CVT, it actually behaves quite well. The paddle shifts behind the steering wheel allow you to actually have a bit of fun with this thing, as clearly evidenced just now. Let's try that again. This time without the pedals. Yes, it's loud. It's loud, but it handles very well. The roads are wet, and it's just tracking these corners. Nice, very nice. Ah, I used the pedals. I'm sorry. It was a reflex. Okay. You know what? I think the engine's loosened up a little bit. Oh, nice. Volkswagen. And Mark 1 Golf. Or was it a Mark 2? Could have been a Mark 2. Sorry, I digress, as usual. Tactile feel is all very good. Very nice tactile feel. I like that. I like that about this car. It feels very, very nice. One thing I forgot to mention. When you're just cruising along sedately, it's tire noise. Seriously, that's all I'm hearing right now. Tire noise. Wow. It's a no-brainer, folks. If you're willing to pay 130 grand, or if you have 130 grand to spend on a car and you want something new and you can just put petrol and forget about, this could very well be it. Right, I'm back. So this is what I mean about the screen holder. I griped about it during the launch, and I guess I shouldn't gripe about it so much. You probably get used to it, but there's so much space, you know, all around it that, you know, a bigger screen could have been put inside. Then again, I just thought about something. If you put a really big screen in there, would it be too distracting? So there you go. So maybe there's a reason why the screen is a bit smaller. But then again, if the screen was with a small screen like this, why do you need such a big holder? Anyway, love the frameless rear view mirror. Really like that. That's the cheap-ass holder I've got. So this was the protrusion that I was talking about just now. Look how far this protrudes into the cabin. And it goes all the way to here as well. So when you open the door, look at how much protrusion you have here. Now, what's the reason for this? That's what I don't get. Anyway, so when I put it into P just now, automatically this the electronic parking brake engaged, and it will disengage itself if I put it into R. So you see, disengaged itself. Yes, reverse camera with 360. You got all the amenities, including the beeping sounds and stuff like that. That's telling me my door's open. Okay, nice blue. Did you hear that? That was the parking brake engaging. That was the parking brake engaging. You got induction charging. Somebody tell me in the comments what the hell this thing is called. It's not induction charging. Convection charging. Okay. Let's just call it wireless charging. Yeah, you got that. So you can turn that off. It doesn't work with my phone. Only works with a few other phones. The engine is running. Oh, sorry. Yes, forgot to mention. Automatic headlights. As well as headlight levelers. Pretty cool, right? And you can set your tire pressure management. Okay, let's see the car from the outside. So as you know, it's been raining, and white is not an easy color to maintain. The thing I hate most about white are these streaks that always happen. But anyway, so don't buy white. This is a pearl white, but I wouldn't buy white if I were you. So anyway, really nice looking car, I gotta admit. It's quite a nice looking car. Yeah, sorry, I was just trying to see if you can see what I'm not seeing. If you can see what I'm not seeing, wow, that's so cool. Alright, anyway. Design-wise, yes, it's got the new front face of Toyota. If you notice, the Camry has also got that grille, that very, very pronounced grille. And of course, daytime running lights, automatic lights, they've come on because it's a bit gloomy. And styling has always been subjective, always will be, but this is a safe bet. It really is. So there you go. You know, small, thoughtful little touches. Okay. Sorry, spider. This little extrusion here. They've actually found out this is actually where the splash happens. So if you notice, there's no splash, it's just wet, but there's no like mud splash, just thanks to that little thing. Pretty cool, right? And yes, it's running, but it's so quiet, absolutely quiet. They should make that logo light up, like the first generation Sagas. You remember that? That was nice. The flag lights up in blue. Oh, you want to see the engine? Okay, you can hear the engine, so let's just very quickly see the engine. See, you see these streaks? That's what I hate about white cars. So, here we go. So, just since we're here, have a look at the interior. Yes. An exercise in sedateness, maybe. But okay, that's my driving position, and I just got out. So let's check out the rear seats. Not too bad at all. Check that out. I've got rear aircon vents. Yeah, got rear aircon vents. Very nice. Quite comfortable back here, I have to admit. Not too shabby at all. Okay, it's okay. Maybe I'm too tall. But let's go have a look at the engine. One of the best things about the Corolla, this engine. Typically, they will probably outlive you, possibly outlive your next of kin even. But yay, worth it. For peace of mind. Okay, this is how you do it, okay? Just like that. It's not being harsh to the car, because if you do that, you might dent your bonnet. Okay, so Toyota Corolla, you've come a long way, baby. You really, really have. And the people will thank you for it. See, the Corolla has always been a people's car. It's like the Volkswagen Beetle of Toyota. It's always been a people's car. And it's just gotten, as people have evolved, so has the Corolla. So maybe it's not too ostentatious, and maybe it shouldn't be. You know, maybe it shouldn't be a competitor for the Civic. Maybe it shouldn't be as flamboyant as the Civic. Maybe a Corolla should just be this. Because if you remember the SEs and the SEGs, and even before that, the KEs, they were basic forms of transportation. Cheap, reliable, put petrol and go. The three main tenets of a day-to-day runner. Taken care of, like, you know, for humans, it's food, shelter, clothing. You got that? You're okay. This car's got all that. It's okay. So again, it's up to you. Personal preference. I love the seats. I wish I could put these in my car. And personal preference, it's entirely up to you. Don't discount it before you actually test it. And yes, there is a sport mode. There's a sport button here. I'm not going to press it because I'm in a parking lot. But hope you've enjoyed this. I've enjoyed the second round more than the first, I have to admit. Nice one, Corolla. It's up to you. It really is. I'm not here to try and sell you a car. I'm just trying to tell you what is out there. So before you discount this, before you strike it off your list, go have a look. Go have a drive. Yeah, the price is a bit up there, but yeah, you get what you pay for, I guess. It's very nice. Okay. I'll talk to you all soon. Counting down to 10,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Like I've always said, I really appreciate the support, as well as all the comments and feedback that you've given. Haters will be eliminated. I'm sorry, I got no time for that. But I will try to get to all the comments and reply them, because I really, really appreciate what when you give me feedback and positive comments, and constructive criticism is fine. Just, you know, don't insult. Be nice. Be cool. Come on. It's not that difficult. It's free. So, and yeah, counting down to 10. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.